I cannot even fit this in the freaking camera frame. We have the Stride Deckset Chronojet Premium to open for you guys today. The best product of the year is actually finally here, and this is the Stride Deckset for Chronojet. This is basically a return to Legend decks that we had back in the G era. This is a type of product that essentially gives you a competitive deck right out the box. Like, you actually get a competitive deck that you can go to tournaments with and expect to win, not even touched. Like, we're gonna go over everything, it's crazy. And what the premium version is that basically you get everything in high rarity, so the whole main deck is like triple rare foil, and the whole extra deck, like G-Zone, is all in SP, and you get a bunch of like, you get like playmat and deck box and all kinds of stuff, so let's crack it open. From what I know, you're also getting this in English too, and you have to pre-order it, because this one we had to pre-order like back in September, and it only released the start of November. So if you want this product, make sure to pre-order, because otherwise you will not get it. And it is 4 times the price, so a normal Stride deck set costs like 5,000 yen, so about like 40 bucks, I guess. But then the premium set costs 20,000 yen, so that's about like 170 in today's exchange rate, something along those lines. And then it opens up just like so. Oh my god, that is beautiful and huge. So we can get it out. I can zoom out completely again, so you can get it out of this box. And it is just massive. Like, this thing is... Ooh, it's taking up the whole box. I'm trying to take it out without like knocking over my tripod, but it's hard. Oh my god, it's slippery as hell too. Alright, let's try to get it out. Come on. There we go. Alright, here we go. So the box is empty. On the bottom, we can just move this aside. And there we have it. This is the actual product. So I can keep this zoomed out for a bit. You're gonna see my messy setup on the sides because it's just too big. So you have both Chronojet and Next Stage on the front, Stride Chronojet Deckset on the bottom, nothing on the back of it, and then the Gear Chronicle and Dark States logos. Oh, if I move it around, on the I guess rear end, and then on the sides, god, they're really hard to show, but just trust me, it has the Gear Chronicle and Dark States logos. I will show them side by side later down the line. So let's get it opened up. There's just so much foil all over the place. It's like, it's just, everything is foiling. Like, it's just like, ugh. Get it open. Let's get it open and take a look at the best product that's honestly released all year. I am honestly very happy about the kind of product design they make with this, where they basically, you know, kind of went back to the Legend deck type of, you know, product. All right, let me zoom in a bit. I think I can kind of fit in most of the product here, so I don't have to see my slippers and stuff. This actually has a very nice, like, almost feels like it's not really a matte finish, but it feels like it. It's kind of weird. But let's open it up and take a look at what we have inside, and oh my god, it gives you the Stride license framed. Oh my god, that is... Wait, you actually get a frame. That is so cool. So for spending extra money, they frame... Oh my god, I can see myself. Hello. Oh my god. They actually frame the license for you. Oh my god, you can see everything. It's all reflecting. You can see the stuff I have in the background, but oh my god, my forehead. Hello! Oh my god! Alright, anyways, let me take this out of the foil so you stop seeing my forehead and you start seeing the stuff itself. This is very cool. Alright, you can actually use this as a display frame because they give you the little stands as well. Oh no, never mind, this is gonna reflect so much! Oh my god! So there you go. This is... I don't know how to show you this without like reflecting all the time, but you can see it's like the beautiful Gear Chronicle, like, you know, gears and everything going on the sides, and then you have the actual framed freaking jet stride crest that is like with a gold foil. Let me unscrew this and actually show you what the card looks like. Wait, I actually don't think I have a screwdriver on me right now. I might need to go check in my storage to see if because you have to use a screwdriver to get this out. You cannot stride without a screwdriver. Can I just bring this to tournaments? Can I like be like, okay, I acquire my quest from the ride line, I just put this down. Alright, we're gonna set this aside for now. I will take it out afterwards. This is funny. I actually need to get a screwdriver. And you get these little things to like put up the thing to stand, so you basically can replace the back legs. So like these two screws, you just unscrew them and like put in these, and then you can just like have it be sitting, which is really nice. I'm actually quite happy about that. I'll put up some other card that I want to put up in there. Okay, then we get a bunch of other stuff. Alright, so this is the sticker sheet, which we use for the acrylic coins. So these are like basically just acrylic coins that are purple, and then you can put up like power on them. So you can make like base 13k power, power 1, Power 1, I guess, for Jeweled, plus 20k, plus 15k. I think I'll use them for power, and then this is like plus 100 million, Persona Ride, crit plus 1, drive -2, drive plus 1. So pretty good. I will try to apply these a bit later. What else we got? We got a playmat. Alright, we can get the playmat out, I think. Yeah, we got the playmat, we can take this out. Then we have a deck box here as well. We can take this out. I'll just take everything out of the box so we can just like break everything down on its own. We have the deck itself in here, and then we have a bunch of top loaders, I think, and then nothing else in here. So basically what you get left with is a storage box, so you can just put in decks here and stuff. I actually quite like these. I have one of these from Shadowverse Evolve that I use for like decks, like card storage too. So this will become another like storage compartment for me, I think, for just like cards in general. Or you can put your decks in here too, like it's pretty nice. You can technically take out this middle part, I think. Never... Yeah, I guess you can. You can actually, technically, but I think you're not supposed to. It's meant to be like a storage unit. So it's a very sturdy box in general. To be honest, like this has a really nice finish and it looks beautiful too. So let's move this aside. I'll put it in the background. There we go. We can have this in the background. So let me replace the playmat as well so you can actually see the jet playmat. Alright, let's open it up, get it out the way, and we're gonna unveil it. I haven't seen it myself yet, so let's take a look. Ooh! It's very pretty. It is just the same size as the usual one, so this blackout mat is the exact same size. We can zoom in a little bit, and you can see, I actually really love the new art of Chronojet. It is super pretty. Like, I think a lot of people have been saying, like, oh, this Chronojet looks bad. Like, here in Japan, I don't know, people have been saying, like, oh, I don't like the way this one looks. I prefer to play the old one, but I think it's such a huge upgrade. Like, the dynamic stance, the shading, especially here, like, if you take a look, let me zoom in a bit. If you take a look at, like, the shading on the body, like, especially around here, like, the contrast and everything is, like, so pretty. So I think if you want to just appreciate the art, the playmat is obviously a very good purchase. So you get the playmat, there's Cardfight Vanguard here down the middle, and then on the side, you get a little, like, jet, like, you know, just a silhouette, and you here get the Gear Chronicle Dark States logos as well. So it's a very pretty playmat. Honestly, this already makes the purchase quite nice. Then we have these top loaders that I want to take a look at as well. So you basically have, I think, the ride line in top loaders. So if you want to put your whole ride deck in top loaders, you can do that, I think. So that's also pretty cool. Get it out of the foil and take a look. So these are basically just normal top loaders. Like, they are top loaders with custom designs. So if you open them up, there's no like sleeve or anything inside. It's just a top loader. So you have one for Jet. Then you have one for just the Gear Chronicle clan logo. I guess you can put the crest in there. Then you have one for, is this one Mazer Gear? I think this one is Mazer Gear. And then this one is Chronodran. So I think the order is supposed to be this. Chronodran, Mazer Gear. And then, I forget the Smoke Gear. Oh, it says on the freaking thing. So yeah, Smoke Gear, Chronodran, Mazer Gear, as well as Chronojet. So this is like your ride line. So I guess you can put the ride line into this, and then you have like the back of it will be this, so your opponent will always know you're playing Jet. And then you can put the actual Stride license, as I call it, the crest into this top loader. So that's actually like pretty nice, honestly. Like, it looks very pretty. I think that's a cool little thing they've been doing. Then we have the deck box itself. So here you have it. This is Chronojet on the front, the Dark States logo on the side. Then we have a basically empty back, so you can actually see like the last card you put there. Gear Chronicle down here. Chronojet Stride Deckset on the top, and then on the bottom you have the Vanguard logo. So pretty nice. I don't know if I'll open it up because I don't really use Bushido deck boxes as much these days. I actually use Pokemon ones a lot more. Because they're a little bit sturdier. I mean, I don't know if they're sturdier, actually. They're just a bit more compact, I guess. And they just feel nice for these kind of things. So I use them for Vanguard as well. But these are nice. This is actually quite nice, but I think I will keep it sealed for now. Oh, I guess you don't get sleeves. For some reason, I thought you get sleeves with it too. But now let's take a look at the deck itself. This is what you actually opened this video for, I think. Well, maybe. Maybe you wanted to see the contents of the premium Stride deck set. For now, I'm pretty happy about what I bought. Like, even just like this box, and as funny as it is, I think the fact that the crest is in a freaking acrylic like frame is so extra that I'm like, I'm kind of glad I paid for this. But the main reason why you buy the premium deck set is for what's inside here, because what is inside here is crazy. It is a huge upgrade over what you would get in the regular one. So let me show you why. Let me show you what you actually pay for. Alright, I think I'm zoomed in a bit too much. So you get Chronojet Dragon. This is the exact same Chronojet Dragon as the original. So the effect is GB2 when it attacks the Vanguard. For that battle, it gets plus 5k and your opponent cannot Gaul grade 1 or greater cards from their hand to guard with, so like a not perfect guard basically. And then when you stride over him, you count loss 1 and then choose an opponent's rear guard and put it to the bottom of the deck. So this is the exact same card as the first Chronojet ever. It is 11k power. It's the exact same, it's just Dark States instead of Gear Chronicle, but it's also Gear Chronicle down here. And for those of you that don't know yet, I've been putting out a lot of videos about this product, but striding is back in standard, but only for this deck. So only this deck can stride because you have the Stride Crest, which will take, you get 2, oh my god. So I actually don't need to take that out of the freaking frame. So basically, like, only this deck can do it, and it's basically a way to get players that haven't played the game since G to get back into the game. So it's actually, I think, a really cool move, and it's a really good product overall. So you get 4 copies of the Chronojet Dragon, and they're all triple rare. So if you buy the normal Stride deck set, only the first one is triple rare, the rest will be common. So I think that that is really cool. Then for the ride line, you get 1 copy of the Smoke Gear Dragon, who says when you ride over him with a Chronojet Grade 3, you can Soul Blast 1 and search your deck for a Grade 3 unit card, reveal it and add it to your hand. So you can search out another Chronojet for like Stride Fodder cost, or one of the other Grade 3s that is in this deck. So we get 1 copy of that. We get 1 copy of the Mazer Gear Dragon, which is the ride line of the Grade 1, which says when you ride over a Chronodran with him, you draw 1, and then you get a Chronojet Dragon Crest. So the crest we will take a look at in a second. And then we get Chronodran, which is the starter in triple rare as well. I think this is the only starter that's in triple rare outside of the Bruce starter in the D series. So basically it's the usual one. When you ride over him, if you're going second, you draw an extra card, which with this deck you want to go second. And his art is really cool. He's like standing in front of the Dark States like church thingy. So it's also a triple rare foil, which is really pretty. Now, I'm going to take a moment to look at the crest, because that is very important. So the crest looks like this in the premium version. I think, is it the same? It looks the same, I guess. No, I guess it is. It's actually more pimped out. So you get the normal version in the deck itself, and you get the more pimped out, like silver, gold, like actually this legit looks metal. And also you can see here that like this little cross is like blue. So it's actually super extra, like, oh my god. So you can compare it here. You have a 1-to-1 comparison between the two. So this is the regular one that you get in the normal product, and this is the premium one. So this is still, I kind of want to just keep the premium one in there, to be honest. So what the crest does is, as you know, when you ride over the Chronodran and you go into Mazer Gear Dragon, he gives it to you. So it's kind of like a marker. You just put it to the side. You can put it where the set orders are, basically. And he says that you can stride, but you can only ride Chronojet named Grade 3 or higher units. So basically striding is reserved to Chronojet when you have this. And then all of your Chronojet Grade 3s, their base power becomes 13k. So even though it says 11k on the card itself, it will become 13k, the same as all other, Grade 3s in Overdress. And then it says during your turn, if you have a Vanguard with the Chronojet name that is Grade 3 or greater, for every face-up card in your G-Zone, your front row units all get plus 5k power. So once you flip 2 G units face up, which is what you do by striding, you basically get a Persona Ride. And so this is probably the most broken part of this card. It is actually really, really strong. It's crazy how good it is. And at the start of your battle phase, you can choose one of your Grade 3 or greater rear guards, and then for that turn, reduce its power to reduce its grade to 0, not power. The reason why you can do that is because of one of the strides that we'll go into a bit later. So this card you should always keep in mind. This is basically the reason why this deck works. The back of it is just a normal Vanguard card. There's nothing like fancy about it, but it is basically the reason why this deck can work and why it can stride. So we're going to put it to the side here as well. So this is the ride line, basically, that enables this deck to work, and it gets you the crest, and then that's kind of how the whole thing works. Moving forward, we have Barifu. So Balif, he has a GB2 effect on rearguard circle during your turn. So what GB2 means, you have to have 2 or more face-up G units between your Vanguard circle and your G-zone, which you can do on turn 3 if you're going second. So he says, during your turn, if during this turn any player's rearguard was put to the bottom of the deck, he gets plus 10k power. He's just a 23k attacker for no cost, which is really strong. And when you would discard him for the cost of stride, you draw 1. Because when you would stride, for example, you have your Grade 3 Vanguard. When you would stride, you have to discard a card from your hand that is equal to Grade 3. So you can discard like a 2 and a 1, or 2 3s, or just a 1 Grade 3. And basically when you do that, you stride into a card from your G-zone. So when you would discard him, you draw a card, which is really good. So he's just a very, very good card, and you get 4 copies of him as well, which is very nice. At first it was only 3, but then people on Twitter outcried and asked to make it 4, and they did it, which is really nice. We should actually listen. Then we have Upstream Dragon, which is another really good card. It's a grade 2 with GB1, so you have to have 1 face-up unit, and it says, when this unit attacks the Vanguard for that battle, you can give it plus 5k power. At the end of that battle, you put it to the bottom of the deck, which activates Body's plus 10k effect already, and then search your deck for grade 1 and call it to a back row rearguard circle and shuffle your deck. So you can basically just call him and then tag him into something like a GG that is in this deck, or a Brainwash Swirler, or just any grade 1 really, which is very, very good. We get 4 copies of him too, so he enables some really nice combos as well. Then we have the Argandia. So this is a defensive card. When you place it on Guardian Circle, you can Soul Blast 1 and then give him plus 5k shield. And then if you have at least 1 face-up card in your G-Zone, instead of plus 5k, gets plus 10k, which is also very good. So 15k shield, which is very strong. We get 4 copies of him too in triple rare foil. And then we have the grand return of Steam Maiden Arlim. So Arlim is a perfect guard. So she's a perfect guard in triple rare foil. And she says, of course, when you guard with her, you choose a unit and it cannot be hit. And if your hand is 2 or more, then you have to discard 1. So it is the actual effect perfect guards. And you get 4 copies. I kind of do wish that they gave the 4 copies and a copy of Elementary Sanctario, because, you know, it's still, I feel like you will play it in this deck, just because you don't actually sit on a grade 4 Vanguard during your opponent's turn. Then we have Steam Breath Dragon, the Stride Fodder. So when you would stride, this card counts as a grade 3 in your hand, and when you would call it from, when you have it in hand and you have a Chronojet Dragon Crest, so this card, then you can discard this card to search your deck or drop for Chronojet named grade 3 and add it to your hand after revealing it. If you search from your deck, you shuffle your deck. So this basically means so that you can basically discard Chronojet as a stride cost, and then when, like, from hand, you can just discard this to get the Chronojet back into hand if you need it for your next stage. So 4 copies of this too, because of course it is very important. And then we finally have the Gearsalo. So this thing says, during your turn, if either player's rearguard is being put to the bottom of the deck, it gets plus 5k, so 13k booster, pretty good actually for in terms of power. And GB1, this unit gets intercept and can intercept from the back row, so it's basically a extra defensive play. So this deck gives you a bunch of defensive cards too, which is nice, so we get 4 copies of this. I think this card will be going out of the deck for Swirler though, or like other cards, but if you don't want to upgrade it, honestly, like, this deck is perfectly fine as it is as well. And then we have Steam Skara GG, so she makes a comeback as well. She says, when placed on rear, if you have a Chronojet Dragon Crest, which you already do on turn 1, you can Soul Blast 2 to draw 1, and then if she was placed by card's ability, such as Upstream Dragon, she gets another plus 5k. So you can actually use this on turn 1 if you play something like a Gunnogram or a Brainwash Swirler to Soul Charge 1 on turn 1 going second, and then you can Soul Blast 2 immediately to draw a card and then swing 3 times with 8k power grade 1s, which is really strong. So we get 4 copies of her. She's a really good card. And then, so the actual new cards in the deck that are, you know, part of this, the Chronojet theme, are in triple rare, but the triggers are common. So you get a common over trigger for Dark Stage, which is nice, they reprinted it, but it is common. And then sadly the triggers are from set 7, or set 6 rather. So unfortunately we have the draws, the fronts, and then the heals. So no Uluru. I wonder if they will print her in some form. So the triggers sadly are common, but you know, you can play them, you can play your other ones from other decks. But the other reason why you buy the premium deck set is because all the strides are SP. So this is actually, like, look at the texture. You can actually see the texturing on the card itself and the purple name of the card, which just looks insanely good. So these are G units. They're grade 4s that go out, like, they don't go into your main deck, they count as an extra deck like in Yu-Gi-Oh! And basically this one says, in order to stride it, so by striding you basically just put the card like this on top of your Vanguard, and then you add the power of the stride together with the power of your Vanguard, and you inherit the name of that grade 3, so he still stays as a Chronojet Dragon. So this guy says, in order to stride, you have to discard a Chronojet named grade 3 from your hand. So basically you have to discard a copy of this, not just any grade 3. And then he says GB2, so you have to have 2 face-up cards in the G-Zone, so you cannot go into this on first stride. When, at the end of the battle, they attack the Vanguard, you can come lost 1 and discard 2 to put this back into the G-Zone face-up, and then you stand your Chronojet Vanguard. So basically, you attack with this, use a skill, put him back to the G-Zone face-up, and then stand and attack with your Chronojet again. So it makes 2 Vanguard attacks, and we get 4 copies of it. Look at this. It is so beautiful. Like, that's actually crazy to get all 4 copies in SP. Like, it's just such a beautiful art. It's crazy. So it's honestly an upgrade of over the original Chrono Dragon next stage, which is really awesome. So the SP just looks fabulous, it's insane. And then we get 4 copies of the Fate Rider Dragon, which in my opinion is the most busted stride in this deck. It is actually the best card, I'd say, in the whole deck too. And it looks absolutely fabulous in SP. You can see the freaking like texture already there, like oh my god. So it's also got the purple name, which fits even better with Fate Rider, I would say. So to stride this, it is a normal stride cost. Basically, you discard cards from your hand that equal to grade 3 or greater. So as I said before, it can be 1 grade 3 or like 2 grade 2s or like a grade 2 and a grade 1 or 3 grade 1s. And you stride it, so you can just put it on top of your Vanguard. And this guy says, when he attacks, you can almost one and flip any G unit face up and choose one of your rear guards and put it at the bottom of the deck. And then you search your deck for a card that is grade +1 from the rear guard that you put back to the deck and call it. And then you give that rear guard plus 5k for every G unit face up. So basically, when you would, let's say, attack, right? Let's say you have GG on the rear guard circle. Let me zoom out a little bit. Sorry, this is like super messy. So let's say you attack with the GG with her like 13k power or something, and then you attack with the Fate Rider. Use its effect to put this back to the deck and then search for a grade +1 card. So let's see, we search for an upstream, and then upstream will get plus 5k because for the cost of this card, you have to cost 1 and flip a G unit face up. So you flip a G unit face up just like so, and then now this gets plus 5k from Fate Rider skill, and then the crest now sees that you have a stride face up, so it gets another plus 5k. This also gets plus 5k, and then this thing gets plus 5k on attack too, so it basically becomes a 25 that can then basically go back to the deck again, and then call a GG, which can then like boost another attacker that, let's say you're gonna make another attack here that you already had this on the board or something. So it is really, really good. Like, honestly speaking, Fate Rider is just a crazy card because it flips up G units and it scales incredibly well into the late game, because the more you go into this card, the stronger your field becomes, right? Because next stage does not flip. So yeah, those are all the contents of the Stride deck set. Like, the SPs are just incredibly cool. Like, this is so beautiful. Before we finish up, I can just quickly show you the acrylic coins. So they look like this. They have like a, I guess it's like more of a like plastic finish here and then more of a matte finish on this side. So I'm assuming that you want the matte finish to be not covered up and then this one to be covered up, because obviously you can just like put fingerprints on here and stuff. So let me get one of these out. Oh, it just flips out like this. It's actually very easy. It's just literally a coin. So you get one of them out just like so. It's actually very nice. So you can see here, it's a pretty little coin. And then let's put the 100 million freaking sticker onto it because, all right, let me get it out. There we go. So we have the sticker out. This is for all the Gunpla builders. I'm sure you have fun with this. You get this off, and let's try to put it on correctly. Alright, that looks more or less correct, so there you go. This is what the coin looks like. So you have plus 100 million, it's kind of off-center, so I'll try to recenter it a little bit. But this is just what the coin looks like, so if you want to easily show that you get an overtrigger, you can just use this, which is pretty nice. I wonder what this will look like in English, because this has like plus ichi oku, and oku like stands for like the counting word for 100 million. So I wonder if in English they'll just show like the number here, or like 100 mil like with MIL written on it. Like, I guess we'll see, because I know that this product is actually coming to English as well. But anyway guys, this is it. That has been it. That is the Chronojet Stride Deckset Premium. It was quite a bit to take a look at everything, and of course I still have the Stride license here in a freaking plate, which is just, it looks crazy. Like, I can't believe that they put it like that, you know? It's like such a fancy little thing they do. So if you liked the video, give it a like. I will be doing a deck profile on this deck fairly soon as well after I playtest a little bit. I'll be taking a look at like a more competitive version of the deck, like the maximum competitive you can do, so it'll include some more expensive cards in it. And then of course I also want to show off some more budget versions of the deck too, so if you just buy this product, like what minimal upgrades you can do to make it a little bit better. But it's already like an amazing product just out of the box. Like, it's crazy how good it is. So if you haven't already, make sure you pre-order it in English. I think you can do it on the online store. I'm not sure if they've opened them already, but if they haven't, then they will eventually, and make sure you do it when they do. But anyway, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a like, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. If you have any questions about this product or about how this deck works, please let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, that's gonna be it for me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.